Hi everyone, it's Astra, and I'm going to be uploading this tomorrow afternoon, just so it kind of spaces out my videos a little bit. But I'm very dysphoric tonight, like very, very dysphoric. Um, it's not gender. I like my how things are going. It's just I don't really understand things. So I've done some things in my life. I've gotten three, Eagle Palms. I've gotten Eagle Scout. I've at 15. I've done 600 miles on the Appalachian Trail with POTS. I've done those things, but I'm just so dysphoric and uncomfortable about what I actually produce to the world, what I'm actually able to do. I don't think I've ever opened up about this. I'm just going to be honest and direct here. It seems like my measured ability through cognitive tests doesn't make sense. It doesn't align with what happened in my childhood, and it doesn't align with because I perceive the world very kind of I think I don't want to be ego, it's just uniquely. But like when it comes to college, it's just like if these tests are real, then why am I not so much better, so to speak? Right? Because I can't even handle a college semester. Like I'll just stay up for 30 hours and work and study hard and just not get super good grades, and I'll fall into crises, things of that sort. But basically, I'm very confused because on these tests, like the Wechsler Adult Intelligence Scale, my measured full scale IQ is in the 150s. I thought at first maybe it was due to practice effect, but there's reason to believe that it is in fact true. I'll give some context. I think that my scores have some practice effects behind them. I do. Um, but I. The thing is, I. I just don't understand. Like, if you're able to organize blocks in a certain way in like 30 seconds, 9 blocks, then all of a sudden you're ahead of 99.9%. Or on the digit span subtest, for example, if you can remember 9 digits, that all of a sudden you're in the extended norms category where you're so far beyond 99.9%. And I haven't even touched these. My best performance is on the coding subtest. I got all of the symbols on the sheet filled out with a little time left. All of them. And that's like so far beyond 19 scaled score, which is 3 standards deviations. But it's like, what does this like? It just doesn't align with anything. Like, even if I have really bad mental problems, why am I not able to do college? Why? Why was I in normal curriculum in school until high school when all of a sudden I got into advanced stuff? Why did I get top class grades in 12th grade, but as soon as I went to college, it dropped? And it's kind of been a struggle. Why am I not so much more than I am? Right? If I can remember 9 digits and somehow, or 10 digits, and somehow that puts me in above 19 scaled score, which is 99.9th, it's like, why haven't I amassed to anything? You know? Like, because the 150s is without extended norms. And it's like when you apply them, especially coding, because it is like, I don't know, I could do like a symbol and a half in a second speed. It's like, why haven't I been able to do anything? Like, and who do I tell? Because if I tell anybody, they'll have that in their minds forever. And then once we get into an argument, or once they'll critically analyze my behavior, and then once I get into an argument, or once I do something, they'll just tear me apart and say that you were never that way. I just don't understand it. It just doesn't make sense to me. You know, like the tasks on the test seem so kind of trivial, but then all of a sudden there's this extremely high expectation because what, I scored in a fraction of a tenth of a percent. It's like all this pressure on me in my mind. All of a sudden I should be way ahead of where I am and not looking towards public welfare, not looking towards not being able to do like schoolwork and things of the sort. It just doesn't make sense. You have no idea how much this bothers me. It's just so hard. It's like, you know, in high school, I was, especially like junior, like from freshman on, I was so confident. I had so much direction in my life. I had a good career path, really good grades. And then when I went to college, my confidence and my grades just got completely destroyed. And then AI just took over everything. And I feel like there are a lot of conversations or a lot of things that, like for example, I have a weakness, which is that when somebody tries to explain a concept verbally to me, I don't really understand it that well. Like that's always been a huge weakness for me. And it's just like, I just wish things weren't designed like that, you know? Like, okay, you can turn a 9 block cube, what, 45 degrees? That means your 19 scaled score need extended to really. It just makes your life so much harder. It makes your life so much harder. And I will tell you, I know I know that I have intellectual giftedness, and I know it makes me have problems in my life, but it's like this is so far beyond that. And you know, even my parents have said things to me like, "Well, if you're this way, then why can't you do this?" And I don't know, because even like savants or kids that have like neurodivergency, they succeed, right? Yeah, okay, they might have trouble, I don't know, writing a paragraph, but they get jobs really young, or they, well, I'm sure labor would have to make, like U.S. would have to make exceptions for them, because I know there are some kids that actually like work in labs and stuff in the U.S. or something, or well, if they're 16, they probably can get jobs at fast food and probably get a job anywhere. Um, yeah, I just I feel very lost. I honestly wish that I didn't score or have such great abilities on like Wechsler. It doesn't translate easily at all. You know, there are things that I forget very much. You know, very fast. Sometimes on Super Doomspire, for example, I'll forget which team I was on after I died. I think it just, I don't know. There's just some sort of weak spot, and it's all so fuzzy. It all just doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't. I am in such a dark place right now. I do not like this right now. It's so hard when, you know, you go through high school and you have the best grades, you know. And I was a perfectionist. Like if I would always worry about test grades and stuff, but I just did so well in the advanced classes, and then just when college hit, it just hit like bricks. And I literally like I'll see on like the results, like the results for the test, that I'll get in like the lower quartile a lot of times. Sometimes I'll get upper quartile. A few times I was top of the class, but there's just nothing behind it. But I also think to myself, would I really want to be like, if the ability from the tests matched perfectly to what people would expect a career, like a associated career? It's like, would I really want to be a professor and have to deal with narcissism all day? Because they do. I can tell you that universities are filled with people that are full of themselves, that are so arrogant because they got their doctorate, and so they think they're unstoppable, especially once they reach tenure. Would I really want to work for like uh, you know, a company in like a city? Who knows what those people are like? It's expensive living there. You get no sunlight. I honestly feel like office jobs, for example, there's a lot of work parasites, like I mentioned. I honestly feel like things like office jobs would also be good dystopian movies as well. Like just good movies that are like movies in alternative worlds that would be considered dystopian in this one. It's like we when something get turns for the worse, right? And in some ways, office jobs are like that. In other ways, they're not, right? Like, but when something is really shitty, but it's the norm, it's so easy to just accept it. And it's when you really look back and you take that away, you take that kind of normalcy aspect away, it's like, what the fuck? Like, I'm going to spend probably like maybe 30 years of my life, when you consider like sleep and vacations and things like that, 30 years of my life, retirement, working without ever seeing the blue sky in a desk, like, and just people accept that. So as much as I would like to also, there's another thing, as much as I would like to also be somebody that's has a much better title, has more kind of things that they can point to, like something they're good at. I don't know, like career wise, like statistics or like something in the STEM fields. I also feel like I look at people like my dad that are already that way, and I think, would it really be worth it if I am to solve the world's problems? If I'm one of the people that are able to solve the world's problems that need to be solved, everybody will just take from me. Nobody's going to give to me. Everybody's going to ask, can you do this? Can you look at this? Can you help me? Can you work with me on this? Nobody actually ever walks into one of these jobs and says, here, let me give you a candy bar. Let me give you a lunch. Let me give you something that you'll like. It's just always relying on these few individuals that have high work ethic and that have kind of the brain power, and destroying them and not giving anything to them. I mean, yes, obviously, like if you enroll in a college or whatever, sure, you're technically giving them their paycheck, right? I'm not going to deny that. But you get what I mean. You get what I mean. So I would probably want to be somewhere in the middle. You know? I wouldn't want to be here now. This is the worst place ever. This is literally the worst place ever. There is nothing worse than my position, right? And it makes you think your whole childhood was a lie, because if you were really that high ability, a fraction of 0.1%, we're talking Davis Academy stuff, why doesn't anybody recognize that? Why? Because I didn't even score that high on like the whisk when I was a middle schooler. It wasn't until high school when all of a sudden everything just like exploded, like subtest scale scores exploded. It's like, what? Like, why? Like, how does this make sense? How is this consistent? Right? How is this consistent? Why am I not able to, if I'm so good at processing speed tasks like coding, why am I not able to do this fast? You overanalyze every single one of your behaviors. Other people, if you share with them, which to be honest, I don't really feel like is free will analyze every single one of your behaviors. It's one of the worst things you can do, because they will remember that forever about you. It's also like giving, like a password or a secret away to somebody. And yes, I kept this in mind when giving my friend it. I actually changed the password and gave him permissions, but because he doesn't use Google, he doesn't use Gmail, right? So I had to create an account and everything for him. But it's like, people that are cool with you now can use the things that you say as friends, like when you're friends, and when you're not friends, they can use it against you, and a lot of people will do that because a lot of people don't have the insight that maybe their friendship will end. And I don't mean inactive. I just mean like not on good terms. Kind of like a separation. This is so, so bad. I can't even tell you. I wish I could be anywhere but here right now. I mean that. There's nothing more I can say than that.